So, good morning, students. Myself, Professor P.B. Ingle. And today we have to start the unit number 5. Okay. And what is the unit number 5? It consists of three parts. Unit number 5 consists of three parts: biomass, then biogas, okay, and gasifiers and photosynthesis. Okay. So these are the syllabus regarding our unit number 5. So today we have to discuss about the biomass. Okay. So what is the introduction? You see here, guys. Biomass energy is obtained indirectly from solar energy, right? Means we know that the biomass is totally depends upon the solar energy. This is our biomass, and we know that this biomass is totally depends upon the sun energy, solar energy. Yes or no? Yes. Photosynthesis process absorb and store the solar energy. We know efficiency of this process around 0.5 to 10%. Biomass energy may be converted by chemical or biological process into the more convenient biofuels like methane, charcoal, ethanol, etc. So from the biomass we can obtain the methane, charcoal or ethanol, such type of the various type of the fuels we can getting from the biomass. By which process? By chemical or biological process, guys. Then another is fossil fuels are also obtained from the biomass, but they are not considered as a biofuel as they contain carbon which is not in biocycles. So what are the advantages related to the biomass if you consider? So it is the renewable source of energy, means which can be used again and again, that is called as a renewable energy source. The energy storage is inbuilt feature of it. Okay, we can the energy store inside the biomass, lot of energy is stored there, right? It is a ingenious source requiring a little or no foreign exchange. There is no any exchange. Okay, the forestry and agriculture industries that supply the feedstock also provide substantial economic development opportunity in the rural areas. You see, in rural areas we can develop the this biomass more quantity, so rural areas develop, agriculture industries also develop. Okay, the pollutant emission from the combustion of the biomass are usually lower than those from fossil fuels. Means the pollution which is emitted by the diesel, petrol is more as compared to the pollution which is emitted by the biomass. Commercial use of the biomass may avoid or reduce the problem of waste disposal in other industries, particularly in municipal solid waste in urban centers. Another use of the biogas plants, apart from supplying the clean gas, also leads to improve the sanitation, better hygienic condition in rural areas, as the harmful decaying biomass gas stabilize. Nitrogen-rich biodigest slurry and sludge from a biogas plant serve as a very good soil conditioner and improve the fertility of the soils. Okay, and last advantages of the biomass, what is? Varying capacity can be installed and capacity can be operated even at lower loads with no seasonality involved. And these are the very easy and simple advantages of the biomass, guys. So another is, what is the disadvantages of the biomass? It is dispersed and land intensive source. So it is in dispersed form, and land is depend upon the land intensive source, how much land is available. It is often a low energy density. The density of the energy, means we know the density is upon mass upon volume. So density of the biomass is very less as compared to the petrol and diesel, guys. Yes or no? Yes. Then third disadvantage also, what is? It is also labor intensive, and the cost of the collecting large quantity for commercial application is significant, right? Is most cost is required to given the labors. Most current commercial application of the biomass energy use material that has been collected for other reasons such as timber and food processing residues and urban waste. These are the some uses to collect the biomass. Capacity is determined by availability of the biomass and not suitable for varying loads. Okay. and not feasible to set up all location. It is not possible to set up the all location where we can transport the biomass easily. So how can you produce the biomass? You see here, energy plantations. Okay, means technically speaking, the energy plantation means growing a select the species of trees and shrub which are harvestable in comparably shorter time and are specifically meant for fuels. Means such type of the plantation we can plant which can easily harvest, and the product is developed is very easily within the shorter period of time. So such type of the tree species we can develop, and we have to produce the biomass. The fuel wood may be used either directly in wood burning stoves and boilers or processed into methanol, ethanol or producer gas. Okay. The energy plantation provide almost inexhaustible renewable source with total time cost 3 to 8 years only for each cycles. The feature of energy plantation are, what are the features? So heat content of the wood is similar to that of Indian coals, right? This is the one features. Wood is low sulfur and not likely to pollute the atmospheres, right? There is a very less pollution which is produced by the biomass. Ash from the burnt wood is valuable fertilizers. Means after the combustion of the burning of the biomass, whatever the ash we can get, this ash is a fertilizer and which is used in a farms to improve the fertility of the soils. Utilization of the erosion prone land for raising these plantations help to reduce the wind and water erosion, guys. So these are the some energy plantation process. Okay. So how can we develop? So you see here, photosynthesis and respiration. If you consider in photosynthesis process, guys, so we know this is the leaf. Okay, this is the leaf of the tree. Solar radiation is incident on the leaves. There is a chemical exchange, means oxygen and CO2 is transferred and oxygen is liberated. Chemical exchange. Okay, the H2O in the roots, there is supply of the what is oxygen, CO2 is removed, nutrients, H2 is supply. So these are the chemical process is done in a photosynthesis process. So what is the process there? You see here, general reactions. So CO2, carbon dioxide react with hydrogen oxide, means our water, plus solar energy, that is photosynthesis. So what is we get? We get the oxygen plus carbon H2O, this byproduct. So overall reaction, formation of hexose, glucose and fructose. We know all this basic. Okay. So what is formed in photosynthesis process? Hexose, glucose and fructose. We know the photosynthesis process. The photosynthesis occur in the presence of a light energy or solar energy. So what is the reaction? The 6 CO2 plus 6 H2O plus light energy. So what is we getting? The oxygen, 6 oxygen molecules plus 6 H12O6, that is we getting the glucose will be theirs. Then in respiration process, so in respiration what is the CO2, H2O and this energy. Okay, after the compensations, photosynthesis, combustion, O2 plus CX H2O. So such is the respiration process will be happen there, guys. So if you observe here in photosynthesis efficiency, so let us consider the solar energy received at a sea level is how much it is. Suppose 100%. So solar energy received how much it is? 100%. So photosynthetically active radiations. Okay, photosynthesis active radiation 50%. Losses due to reflection and transmission from the leaf, because we know the from the leaf, suppose the solar radiation is incidents, solar energy. So some of the radiation is reflected. Okay, transmission from the leaf how much it is? 10%. So net available energy is how much it is? 40%. Means out of 100% solar energy we have to 50%. In 50%, 10% is lost. So net is how much? 40% is useful. Then another is 23% net energy convert into the carbon fiction process, and 23% net energy means nothing but the 9.2% energy we can use there. So 40% of the fixed carbon energy lost due to the simultaneous respiration process, guys. So final net trap energy is how much? 0.6 into 9.2 means 5.52% of insolations, means 5.52% radiation we can use in a photosynthesis process. Okay. Now another is what is the biogas generation. The biomass we have to have, how to use these biogas generations. Okay. So we know the biogas means what is, it is the methane gas we have to produce there by the process of biogas. Okay. So you see here, biogas contain 55 to 60% of methanes and 30 to 40% of CO2. When organic matters undergo fermentations, okay, all the biomass through the anaerobic digestion gas is generated. This is known as biogas. Anaerobic digestion means in the absence of oxygens, that is called as the anaerobic digestion. Means there is no use of oxygens. So when organic matter undergoes fermentation through anaerobic digestion gas is generated, this gas is biogas. So this anaerobic digestion consists three phases. The first is enzymatic hydrolysis, acid formations, and methane formations. So in enzymatic hydrolysis, what is the fats, starches, and proteins are broken down into simple compounds. It takes about 1 day at 25 degree Celsius. Okay, this is the process of the enzymatic hydrolysis. Second is the acid formation. So facultative and anaerobic organization collectively called acid forms break simple compound into the acids. So it also takes about 1 day at 25 degrees Celsius. Much of the CO2 is released in this stage, guys. Third is methane formations. So anaerobic bacteria slowly digest the acid from second stage to produce the methane, CO2, and small amount of the hydrogen. So it take about the 2 weeks time. So this is the process in biogas generation in methane gas. So this is the very IMP, guys. Okay, this question is always asked in exam. What is the operational parameter for a biogas plants for formations? So first we require the what is temperatures. So in temperatures very predominant role in to produce the biogas. Okay. So methane forming bacteria work best in the range of what is 20 to 55 degrees Celsius temperature in a digester tank. Whatever the tank we have, this digester tank we have to maintain this much temperature 20 to 55 degrees Celsius. The rate of digestion increases with temperatures. Gas yield rate double at about every 5 degrees Celsius increase temperatures, guys. Okay. But with increasing temperature, methane content reduce. Okay. Pressure, how much pressure is required there to formation of the biogas? Very IMP parameters, pressures. Minimum pressure is what is 1.2 bar is required. Consider is identical situations ideal. Any leakage of the oxygen in negative pressure is completely inhibits and growth of the anaerobic bacteria. Okay, guys. Another is a pH is very required. So how much pH is required during the acid formation stage? pH value may be around 6 or less. So this much pH is required to produce the larger amount of the anaerobic bacteria and produce the larger amount of the methane gas. However, during the methane formation stage, pH value is 6.5 to 7.5 is maintained. Then solid to moisture ratio, guys, how much? So if water is content too high, the temperature of the slurry is decrease the gas formation rate. So this is very important. If water content is too low, acid accumulates and higher fermentation is processed. Okay. The optimum total solid concentration ratio is how much? 7 to 9%. Feeding rate, how much biomass feed it into the digester tank? So feeding rate is too high, acid may be accumulated and digestion process may stop. Also at higher feeding rate, retention period will be very less, guys, will be theirs. Another 6 important parameter, carbon to nitrogen ratio. This is very important ratio to produce the biogas in digester tank. So carbon and nitrogen are the main nutrients for the anaerobic bacteria. Carbon supplies energy and nitrogen is needed for building up a cell structures. Okay. So optimum carbon nitrogen ratio is how much? 30:1. So carbon is required is 30 and nitrogen required is very less. As a bacteria consume carbon 25 to 30 times faster than nitrogens. Okay. Then seeding of bacteria. So to start and accelerate the fermentation process, Small amount of digester slurry containing the methane forming bacteria is added. This is known as the seeding. Means we have to add the methane bacteria in digester tank to improve the methane gas fermentation process, or means fermentation process improve the methane gas. That is called as the seeding of bacteria. If the biomass is animal manure, it already contains acid and methane forms, hence seeding is not required. Okay. So if you have the biomass in the form of animal manure, then we cannot read the seeding bacteria. But biomass is from jungles or whatever, so we can require the seeding process. Then mixing or stirring. So mixing maintain uniformly in concentration, temperatures. Mixing minimize the formation of the scum at the surface. Furthermore, frequent stirring prevent the deposition of the solid at the bottom. So we can require the frequent mixing and continuously stirring inside the digester tank, guys. Retention time. So it is determined by the volume of the digester divided volume of slurry added per day. Retention time is optimized to achieve the 17 to 80% complete digestions. For cow dung, retention time is around 15 days. So what are the classification of the biogas plants? You see here. So biogas plant is classified into the two process, as per process and as per construction. So as per process, what is it? Continuous type, batch type. As per construction, dome type, drum type. In continuous, that is single stage and double stage. This is a type of continuous. And in dome type, floating drum and fixed drum. So this is the simple classification of the biogas plants. So in our syllabus, this biogas plant is available. So what is floating dome plant? Okay, KVC Khadi village biogas models. Okay, so you see here what is the working of the floating type of the biogas plants. So you see here why it is floating, because the drum is floated inside the wall of this biogas plant, that is called as the floating dome. So what is here construction? This is the mixing tank, guys. Inside the mixing tank we can add the slurry of the cattle dung and water. So we can add here. Okay, this is our inlet for the digester tank. Then this is the inlet pipe. This is our ground level. At the ground level we can constructed this inlet tank. Below the ground level we can constructed this digester tank. Okay, so this is the inlet pipe through the mixing tank which is enter here. Okay, so dung and water mixtures inside this digester tank, guys. This is the underground digester tank which is made by the bricks masonry. The inlet pipe, through the inlet pipe, the slurry of the cattle and is entered inside the digester tank. Okay, these are the support for a pipe. These are the construction of the bricks which is support for this inlet and outlet pipe, guys. Inside the digester tank there is a dung and water is mixture is completely here. Then on this wall we have to put up this biogas collector here, that is the floating gas holders which floats inside these walls. Okay, this is the pressure measuring device. This is the outlet for a biogas. After the generation of the gas is collected inside this tank, and from this tank with the help of this gas valve we have to open, and this gas we can utilize for various application purposes. This is the outlet. Okay, this is the ore tank flow. When the slurry is overflow, this slurry we can remove. Then this is the what is partition walls. This partition wall is divided into the two parts. Then this is the outlet pipe. This one is outlet pipe, guys, here. Okay, so whenever all the mixture is put up inside the air, there is a fermentation is takes place and the gas will be generated. After the gas will be generated, this gas is collected inside this dome, and this dome is flowed from one place to another because of the pressure of the gas. And whenever we remove this outlet of this biogas, this gas we can utilize, okay, for various application purpose, for lighting applications or heating application or cooling applications or cooking applications. So there is various uses of this methane gas which is generated inside the digester tank. And then after the this fermentation process, the slurry is come out from this outlet pipe and transfer into this tank. Okay, this outlet tank or overflow tank, and this slurry we can use in the farms. Okay, we can transfer inside the farms to improve the fertility of the soils and to increase the agriculture productions. Okay, so this is the working of the floating dome plant. Now another is a fixed dome plant. Fixed dome means the dome of the biogas is not movable, it is fixed. It is called as the fixed dome plant, guys. So very easy. This is the mixing tank. Inside the mixing tank we have to add the cow ducts, biomass, water will be there. After properly mixing, this will be transferred to the this inlet chamber through the inlet pipe inside the digester tank. There is no any partition wall in, guys, here. Then after the fermentation process, the biogas will be produced and this biogas is directly transferred through these walls. Okay, just open the walls, gas control wall, and this biogas, methane gas, we can use for what is a cooking purpose. Fixed dome means there is no movable. Then after the fermentation process, then the slurry, this outlet, so this slurry is out. Okay, and it is stored inside this tank, overflow tank, and from this overflow tank, this slurry we can use in farms to improve the fertility of the soils. So this is the construction of the fixed dome plant, guys. Okay. Okay. So when we discuss the fixed dome and floating dome, so there is some difference is asked in exam, guys. You should know this difference, how to differentiate all these parameters. So if you differentiate this fixed dome and floating drum, so what is in fixed dome? The masonry of the concrete structure is entirely in fixed dome. In floating drum, what is? Masonry is digester with a steel, plastic or composite base gas holder will be used. The fixed dome is low cost. The floating drum is very high cost, 20 to 30% is higher. It is low maintenance. There is a frequent maintenance. This is a very low reliability. This is the high reliability. Higher masonry and supervision skill is required in fixed dome. In floating drum, low masonry and fabricating skill is required. There is a variable gas pressure, complicates appliance designs. Here the constant gas pressure is simply applied design and uses. So this is the some difference of the biogas plant in fixed dome and like that. So then use of these fire food cookings. Okay, if you consider here productions, biogas digestion production, we know. So suppose these conditions we already discussed, but in shortcut we review what is. We require the daily fresh experiments, means we require the daily cow dung like that. Temperature range is what is 30 to 35 degrees Celsius internals. Carbon nitrogen ratio what is 30:1. Anaerobic system which one? Methanoic bacteria. pH is required how much? 6.7 to 7.5. Time frame 30 days required to fully production of the biogas. Okay, guys. Then what is the application of this biogas? Lighting, energy, cooking and heating application. These are the application of the biogas. Then chemical composition of the biogas after projections. So methane is how much? CH4 14 to 70%. Carbonic gas CO2 how much? 30 to 60%. Hydrogen is how much? S2 1%. Nitrogen 0.5. Carbon monoxide 0.1. Oxygen 0.1 and hydrogen sulfur 0.1. This is the chemical composition of the biogas. So we already discussed, this is the, we already discussed in our previous diagram. This is the floating drum. Once again I revise. The drum is floated inside here. Yes or no? This is the fixed dome. This is the diagram of the fixed dome we already discussed. Once again I will be repeat this thing here. You look at in this diagram. Slurry of the cattle and dug is entered inside this mixed tank, guys. This is our ground level. This is the slab covers. This is our digester tank. From the ground level, this is the our slurry is entered inside this digester tank. Dug and water is mixture here. This is our inlet chamber, guys. Underground digester tank is here. Then after this slurry will become here. There is a fermentation will be required and biogas will be produced. This is the dome. The dome is fixed. That's why it is called as the fixed dome type plant. This gas will be generated. Okay, this gas wall is open and this gas we can use the various application purposes. Then after that this slurry is come outlet, okay, and it is flow inside this overflow tank outlet chambers, and this slurry we can use for various purposes in farming or like that. This is the diagram we already discussed, and this is the what is a floating drum. Okay guys, so this is the simple explanation about the biogas energy. Okay, so if you consider in this situation use of the 5 red means environment impact, development of illness, demand of the labor, okay, non-appropriate management experiment, contamination of the source of water, production of the gas, increase the vectors of human and animal disease, disseminations or disease and weeds, loss of nutrients. These are the some problematic situations in regarding the biomass. Okay guys, so I stop here. In next lecture we have to discuss the some gasifier. Okay, so I stop here.